taking of a drug substance would be irrelevant. It would be a waste.
Kamari Clark is an anthropologist at Yale University.
There are a lot of consequences if one isn't in control and acting out of consciousness.
James says he knows MDMA isn't a chemical toy.
I do see people who treat it lightly and don't respect the gift it can be, the power of transformation it has. For me, it comes back to respect. It's dangerous when you think you can do ecstasy every weekend for the rest of your life, and there are not going to be some really serious consequences to that.
Taboo will return in a moment.
Focusing on the perils posed by drugs, contemporary societies ban them. But prohibition keeps people from learning about and from these substances. What if you thought a drug could sit you at the table with God? Would you take it? And would you share it with your children? Outsiders call it Peyote. The Huichol, an indigenous tribe in western Mexico, call it Hikuri, and they teach their children to use it. Most societies outlaw this consciousness-altering drug, but Mexico permits the tribe to use it as the central experience of their religion. The Huichol believe peyote leads to the spirit world. To get there, they must set out on a pilgrimage, one that starts with a legend. At the dawn of time, a Huichol hunter stalked a blue deer. He shot straight, but the animal fled across the desert. In its tracks, cactus plants budded.
They were hunters, and they killed their own god. Their own god blessed them, nevertheless, by turning into a peyote cactus.
Ever since, Huichol have visited this sacred desert, collecting peyote. It is harvest season. Tomorrow, the tribe will travel to the distant desert. Parents explain the journey to children, who will taste the holy cactus for the first time. First, they must fast, and tonight, as with every night on the road, they will go without sleep. Before entering the land of the blue deer, minds and bodies must be ready for the sacred trip. Their quest takes the Huichol far from their homes in the remote Sierra Madres to the Chihuahua Desert in western Mexico. The Huichol were using peyote long before the beats and hippies made it briefly fashionable and established a peyote culture in the U.S.
It's legendary because it's a natural hallucinogenic. It's a natural, they used to say this, expander of mind.
Mexico bans casual use of peyote, but does allow the tribe its rituals. Mario, 17, balances between cultures. He's growing up in the modern world, but he's also making his first peyote pilgrimage. His father, Mauricio, will teach him to use and respect the sacred cactus.
I followed my father when I was young. He showed me where the peyote grows. But then he died when he was 50. Now I'm taking my son for the first time, so he'll learn about our sacred ways.
People everywhere don't classify drugs in the same way. In a given ritual context, the thing that we call drug is simply a way to facilitate a new shift in stages or states of being. But it's not the religion itself, not at all.
The tribe's shaman, Don Jesus, hopes to pass on this tradition and all its rituals to his children, 7-year-old Francisco and baby Jesusita. The Huichol once made the journey on foot, a trip that took 45 days. Now they live in a world of property lines and must travel by highway. Many leaving their village for the first time. The modern world's concrete and machinery are sending them back in time. A journey already begun in their minds. With 21 people, quarters are close, but this is all part of their rite of passage. Discomfort is the pilgrim's payment for a glimpse.
The Huichol make a journey, make a pilgrimage, which is itself a narrative. First, they suffer. They become victims, ritual victims.
After 2 days, the Huichol reach the outskirts of the sacred desert of Chihuahua. They stop first at a sacred lake to pay respect to nature. Once vast, this holy place has shrunk to a puddle. The pilgrims move on with a profound sense of loss. A foundation of their beliefs is withering away. 3 days into the journey, they reach their destination. More cacti live here than anywhere else on Earth. Youngsters must pay attention. Someday, they will be leaving. The shaman knows this is the place. Here the peyote buttons grow. Pure in mind, chastened in body, the pilgrims prepare to taste the food that summons the gods. These children will enter the tradition, a further bonding with parents and tribe. A new generation of Huichol is about to experience the mysteries of peyote. With symbolic arrows, the Huichol reenact their creation story. In this ritual, the cactus achieves godhood, the incarnation of the mystical blue deer. The Huichol hunt as if for a wild animal. Replaying a myth dating to the start of time, the pilgrims track their prey. The Huichol believe only the pure of mind can see its new form. The legend lives. Once again, the deer transforms itself into the peyote cactus. Coming up, parents initiate their own children in religious drug rituals. The Huichol pilgrims easily find the first peyote buttons, perhaps heralding a good crop. Though they gather a year's worth of peyote, the Huichol treat the land with care. They know it takes these slow-growing succulents 4 years to get as big as a dime.
The land of the blue deer is the sacred to these people. That's why the Huichol are careful in, quote-unquote, harvesting the root of the cactus.
The harvesters leave enough root that the plants can